ExG versus CpV.
So,
yeah.
you know, at this point, I'm ready for any of the 3 decks. It's so interesting based on numbers and statistics how poorly Sword looked like it was doing, but the West really still believe that now all of a sudden it's just everywhere. I mean, half the decks are Dragon, half of them are Sword, so...
Yeah, it just took time figuring out exactly what was the perfect comp needed to take down Dragon. And it looks like it's the Luminous Mage with the Unicas and the Troopers and the more mid-range deck mixed in with Alberts and Tsubakis as well.
Looks like a Shadow Dragon matchup here.
It's been a while since we've seen a Sahagwheel played with this neutral deck.
Yeah. Either we just haven't really seen it drawn, but Rahab and Sahak are 2 cards that we haven't really seen too much today.
Right. Yeah, we haven't seen Rahab play. We'll see if typically the 2 main archetypes of Dragon is the Storm ramp and also the neutral ramp, where the Sahagwheel you have the Israfils and the Lucifers, and also the Bahamets and the Zell combos, really making use of a lot of the neutral followers in the deck. And I think seeing the Sahagwheel gives it away that this is more of a neutral deck. And I'm sure there's some fortes, maybe even a Genesis Dragon mixed in. We'll see what he brings out on the table.
Some very important pieces here for Shadowcraft, but it's already been 3 turns, and the only thing to show for it is the Attendant of the Night.
Yeah, Shadow gains its biggest advantage is on the first 3 turns of the game.
Necro Assassin? I mean, it's not super valuable, the cards on the board. Maybe you could argue the Zell.
Right.
I mean, turn 4 is coming up.
You could
just evolve the Zell and get a Storm Rahab. That's a thing.
Yeah, that's with 2 damage right there, yeah.
So there is a world where perhaps you would want to remove it.
And there still are a lot of options in the hand of anyz here. I think he's gonna play the Grimnir, maybe Soul Conversion on the Attendant of Night for his last move. Getting a Lich when he's only on 4 play orbs. Really great. So next turn the Lich is going to be able to attack.
So here comes the decision. There's a handful of options here for Stolz. Gonna opt to go down the path of spell usage here. You throw the Ala in.
Yeah, you could trade the Alien and then Blazing Breath to finish off the Lich and then go for face, saving one of your Evolve Orbs. Getting some face damage and clearing off your opponent's board effectively.
And getting the ramp.
Yeah. That's an absolutely stellar turn. 3 massive advantages coming up from Stolz. A clear board, ramp as well.
There it is.
I've got to take a break.
And burp.
I'll live again.
So let's look at the situation again for anyz. He's in on the 5th turn, and there's still been no opportunity to play Prince Catacomb.
Right.
And that kind of spells bad news for me. He only has 4 shadows here. Turn 5 is typically where you would play Cerberus, and that seems like a pretty good play. But really, you're still not gaining very much in way of bodies on board.
And if he wants to clear the board, he's going to have to use one of his Evolve points here. And that leaves him with 1, and Stolz has still got all 3 of his.
Yeah. Gonna finally remove the Zell here, so there's no threat of that Zell pulling in another card and instantly letting it swing face. And pulls another Zell, but kind of an uncomfortable turn here for Dragoncraft.
Right.
Ideally, you would like Sybil somewhere around now.
Absolutely.
But Rahab will have to do it, and I think he's just going to let it buff up.
Yeah, it's going to gain another 2 attack points at the end of this turn, while still remaining with 2 defense points. Still a pretty sizable board that anyz is going to have to chew through next turn. And another empty board that Andy has to live with.
Yeah. There it is, 6-2. Perfect situation for Mimi to come down.
Yeah, we'll see if he chooses to do that. That'll leave him with 5 orbs. He does have a Bone Chimera and also the Catacomb in hand as well. He's got such a full hand, he hasn't really been playing many cards, honestly.
The options haven't been great, and typically you would love to spam followers and then follow it up with a Catacomb. It just happens that Dragoncraft has been able to really remove things. and prevent that scenario from happening. So he's going to use Soul Conversion, and that's going to be great because the two followers are really going to help kind of secure some kind of footing.
Now Overflow is active for Stolz. We'll see if he's going to just go for the draw, leaving him with 5.
Perhaps a Rahab is a play. Yeah,
I think evolving that, taking out one of the skeletons.
It won't be long now.
There it is, and he has 1 evolve left for the Zell. There is a situation where Saha Zell could be a thing. And with a Rahab down there doing 5, this game could very easily come to a close.
Yeah, in a few turns, Stolz is going to be able to do the Saha, Zell, Israfil combo. If he holds on to that one last Evolve Orb for the Zell, which I think he definitely wants to do. And he could spend his last Evolve Orb on the White King here.
See? I'm only getting stronger.
So Immortal Thing gets buffed up. Gonna remove Rahab.
It'll stay alive, and that's a massive board that Stolz is going to have to deal with. And Evolved Israfil would effectively clear the board here. And he's going to Sahak Wheel, yep. Not gaining the health, but Israfil is still able.
Interesting, he is still going to play the Zell, give Israfil the Storm, so he's going to attack face instead, get that 8 damage, wipe the board as well, at the same time, so neither of those whites could get their proc effect.
That's right, and he's still got Israfil in the next turn as well. A massive amount of pressure put on by Stolz.
That's a fantastic turn. 6 health. Oh, wow, he mills a card too. 6 health is real dangerous in this scenario just because Grimner already pushes 4 of that. You leave any of these cards up and you're in trouble. 14 Shadows, I mean...
He does have the White King. That's a ward with Bane. It's going to be crucial.
Could also Ector. There it is.
Yeah, that'll help him clear the board for sure. And with the White King still on 0 cost, he could still play that next turn if he wanted to. Or this turn.
Yes. And that's really important because defending yourself against any kind of damage to face, I mean, how are you going to take that gamble at 10 play points that nothing like, you know, Genesis Dragon or
Right. Definitely.
anything of that nature is going to come down here. The top deck is so scary. He doesn't have Evolution Orbs, so there's not going to be a way to just instantly swing. Grimner's going to do 4 to everything here, and the White King is perfect just because it has 5.
Right.
But the 2 zombies will be gone.
The 2 zombies will be gone, and Ector will stay on the field as well with 2 health, but that's still 4 damage as well. So then anyz will be left with 2 health.
And this is scary as well. Coco and Mimi are still in hand, and there's another Cerberus to play. Which means that there's a lot of potential reach if you leave any kind of follower on the board.
Yeah, definitely. And there's no Evolve Orb, so Israfil's not going to be able to attack. He's already at 18 health, so healing for 4, you're not able to overheal. So those 2 extra points of health will kind of go to waste. And meanwhile, there's still a pretty sizable hand for anyz. He's got a lot of options next turn. He could Catacomb his whole hand if he wanted to. Or Catacomb his whole side of the board after this Grimnir, of course.
So Grimner's going to be the play, putting anyz to 2. We've got 9, 11, 13. If he plays the other Cerberus, he could play... I think he might be able to kill him if he plays Cerberus. Cerberus would be 5, so he has 4 play points, so he could... That gives him 8 damage on top of the 9. No, it's so close. Unless I did my math wrong. I think. It's 4 for each pair of the cards, so it's 8, 9. It's got 17 damage. But he has to clear out the...
yeah, he's still got to clear out the ward.
And either card he swings is going to get traded here, so he might actually try to go for double Mimi. Yep. So this is a situation that we were talking about before, where, I mean, I guess if Sahak Wheel comes down, then that could end the match. But Israfil doesn't have an ability to... Oh.
There's the Bahamut.
Wow.
That is going to clear the board, but then there's the Necro Assassin in the hand of anyz, so next turn he could Attendant Knight and the Necro Assassin.
Each of these turns, though, are very scary, just in the sense of... if there's any opportunity, any kind of storm, right? Or
Right.
if you can activate Israfel's ability.
All right, drawing a Forte, drawing a Genesis Dragon will effectively end out this game. There is a Death's Breath. That's going to be 3 wards. But that's still leaving Bahamut up. If you play the Death's Breath, you won't be able to clear that out.
Yeah. Well, you could probably that and Necro Assassin.
That's right, yeah, you could still Necro Assassin. Yeah.
So let's see. I mean, you're fighting for your life right now. The ward is going to be really important. He's going to leave Bahamut up. Oh, God.
But the zombies have 3 health. They're going to...
But the thing is going to hit past.
Yeah, it's going to hit
gonna
past.
hit past.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. And that was the exact situation that anyz wanted to avoid. Is a Sahakwiel draw into the Israfil active.
Right.
Such a dangerous situation. Every single turn that was passed was very key.
Right.
And as we know, that last turn actually didn't matter at all for anyz because once that Sahakwiel got drawn, it actually didn't matter how he arranged, unless there was some kind of self-healing. Yeah, just what a situation to be in.
Yeah, and now the Dragoncraft deck is off the table. And so depending on what his next deck is, he's going to have to go up against the Shadow deck as well.
Yeah. So Shadowcraft will remain. And I think that was a very interesting situation. The early game was so tough for anyz, right?
Yeah.
Could not get any kind of footing, did not play the Catacomb, I think, until the end, right? That one play there where it didn't even matter anymore.
It didn't even matter, yeah.
Not a situation you want to be in. So he's going to go again with Shadow against this time the Shadow deck of Stolz, and so now they're in the mirror match where I think the outcome is not quite as clear. Shadowcraft mirrors can be very reliant on kind of what kind of early pressure you get. Are you going to be the first one to double Reaper? Are you going to be the first one to Ector? Right? How does that play out now that the turn goes to anyz to start out?
And we saw how much more mid-range the anyz deck was. He was running Attendant of Knights and Necro Assassin. That's not that aggressive at all. That's definitely more focused on control when you're able to use the Necro Assassin to destroy your own followers, get rid of enemy followers as well. But I think the board clear, how each player is going to be able to board clear effectively, how effective that's going to be is going to be absolutely crucial in this matchup.
Real unfortunate for anyz. He started first but didn't have a turn 1 drop. Stolz drew into a turn 1 and a turn 2 and has Orthrus sitting waiting at the side and the Bold Chimera on 3.
Right.
The classic Sesame Street situation that makes Shadowcraft so successful. It's going to be really tough.
Sesame Street?
Yeah, so you've got the 1, 2, 3, 4, you know, learning how to count.
Counting, yeah, definitely.
Very easy. You just got these nice cards with the big numbers printed on them, and all you have to do is put them in order.
Yep.
1 through 4. In this case, he even has the 5 and the 6. So
yeah, he definitely does. And there's another Catacomb in the hand of anyz as well that he just drew.
Catacomb comes out for anyz much quicker now, and this is more a typical Catacomb situation.
Yeah.
As opposed to the last game, which was just absolutely abysmal. Oh, and this is a Catacomb situation. Right?
This is now looking abysmal for Stolz. He's got 4 of those followers that he's going to have to chew through.
Ideally on the Skull Beast, but that's okay.
Evolving, going for face. Yeah, definitely a great choice here.
Yeah, gonna try to race. Now, the big thing about Catacomb is there's a lot of quote-unquote free trades to be had. And especially when they spawn 2 skeletons apiece.
Gonna mess with me?
Basically trade in 1 damage to get 2.
I'm gonna tell on you, beckoned.
Draws into Grimner, which that ward might be very important against the game plan of Stolz, which seems to be pushing anyz into a particular health range. The Cerberus Phantom Howl combo is a thing that could be. Death's Breath is also a safer option that also gains back board control here. Meanwhile, those 2 turns are leading up to Ector for anyz, and because Catacomb was played twice, that means there's going to be shadows galore, right?
Shadows galore, and there's only 3 shadows in the hand of Stolz. He does have, there's 4 now, but he does have 2 other followers that he'll be able to destroy this turn as well. So we'll see if he's able to work up to 6 shadows where Death's Breath will get its effect in the coming turns. I think he will be able to.
Evolved Skeleton going to take down Orthrus. Now just 1 skeleton left to represent Stolz's board. Needs to make something happen. Soul Squasher is tempting, but I really don't think it's a good idea just on a 3-2.
No, not a good idea specifically there, and you also want to keep the shadows as well, because that costs 4 shadows.
Yeah. We talked about it a little bit, right? Who's going to be the first to run into Ector, and it seems like anyz already has that win condition secured for him. Now, there's still 2 turns left that Stolz could kind of run into something.
Right, we'll see what his draw is this turn. It's another Cerberus that's just more damage than anyz is going to be able to pile
Having
on.
4 followers on board, too, really makes it very uncomfortable.
So he could swing for face here and gain a massive advantage, because I don't think Stolz is going to be able to end the game next turn. He's got 6 damage.
Sorry, gotta go.
Now, Phantom Howl with Coco Mimi Evolve is... You've got 11 damage there.
Yep, next turn.
He needs Ward.
You see?
Or he needs it. I don't know if he can end it here.
Loose lately.
No, yeah, it might be Stolz taking this away.
Yeah.
He's got 7 shadows, Coco Mimi, and an evolve point. Yeah, that's gonna be it.
Yeah, at 6 play points too. That's the exact value that you would want. Phantom Howl comes in. It's 5 on the board. You can evolve. Get the 2. You got 4 from Coco and Mimi. And what a win from Stolz. He's going to be able to challenge Shadowcraft twice over. Once with the Dragoncraft deck and once with his own Shadowcraft deck. And it was a race to kind of see what the win conditions were. Ector was just a turn too late.
Just a turn too late. We see how this aggro Shadow is able to stack up against a mid-range deck and finish the game before Ector's even an option.
Yeah. And we talked about it too as well. You kind of identified some of the things that seemed a little bit more mid-rangey. And the player who went second, and actually that last evolution orb really came in handy, the player who went second had the better board control.
Right.
Because he had that nice curve.
Yeah, the nice curve and the extra evolve point to play with.
And I think that really hurts, especially